is TK Irish. And man, I'm going to tell you something. Camp Kennerk has been buzzing with the holidays and people coming by, but we have a special happy camper guest today that is going to just blow you away. Talented, funny, committed to her career. And just give you an example here. She's been on featured on 60 Minutes, on 2020, Ladies of L'Oreal guest, and the list goes on. She's even just got back from Dubai as a featured guest speaker for the international law enforcement agencies from all over the world. So she has a message and she tells it well. But you know what else, Douglas, she does? She tells great stories. And I can tell you this because I got to say this, and I don't mean to be bragging, but she learned them from me, or I'll take credit for it, but she'll tell you how she learned to tell stories. But first of all, let's get our Dr. Pepper because we're going to be laughing and carrying on today. And woo! I am ready to rock and roll, Douglas. So, what do you got to say for yourself today?
TK, it is good to see you again. I love doing this Camp Kennerk Happy Camper interviews, and sounds like you've got a real cute gal. She's really cute. And her resume puts us in the shade. And we've got Jojo Bear in attendance, and we've got Cowboy Otis over here who is in charge of security. But I'm a little worried about that introduction. What is the lady's name?
Her name is Theresa Flores.
Now, you said that she has been on 60 Minutes and TV, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
And now,
yeah.
now she's with us.
Yeah. Yeah. But now there's a reason why.
Oh, she,
It's not because they think she thinks we're funny and charming and witty. It's she's my niece. So when I say she tells a good story, you know, I'm telling you that I've heard it. I was with her when she learned all this stuff at around the dining room tables over the evenings all these years.
But you said she was in Dubai. I can't even spell that. Goodbye, Dubai, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
good,
you,
Douglas. Dubai, Dubai. See you
Dubai, Dubai,
later.
Dubai. And you also said that she does work with law enforcement, the FBI. Does that mean that your identity has been blown and you're off of witness protection?
Me or her?
No, you and me. I'm
I
a
don't
good.
know, Douglas.
I'm a
I
Boy
get so
Scout.
confused.
I'm a Boy Scout. So,
Yeah.
well, why don't you introduce her? Because it'd be good to see her again. Because I have a short story at how I've met Theresa.
Okay, well, great. Well, no further ado, I'd like to introduce my niece, Theresa Flores. She is a person of great respect throughout the world for the work she does and the organization she created called SOAP. And I'll let you tell her about those type of things. But Theresa, what do you got to say for yourself?
Oh my gosh, Grandma used to say that all the time. When you'd call her up, she wouldn't say hello, how are you? She'd say, what do you know? And it's like the hardest thing to answer. What do you know? What do you So, I'm just so happy to be here with you guys and share some stories about South Bend Drive and just our family in general. We have the best family, I think. I'm one of the Kennerks, even though I didn't get blessed with that last name. And I learned, I do believe that what I'm able to do today is because of how I grew up. Absolutely. Storytelling was one of the most valued skills that you could have in our family.
Now, Teresa, why don't you tell them how it really works in the family? When you're a little child, you sat at the table and you really didn't say much. You just listened to everyone tell their stories. But
Right.
then there's always that one time when someone, one of the elders, grandpa, grandma will say, well, Teresa, do you have a story?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And you
And
better
then,
have one. You better have one ready. Like that's how you keep that seat at the table. So
exactly.
otherwise you're out, somebody else is in.
That's
So
right. Get this
and
rookie out of here.
yeah, you're out. The one thing too that was unusual, maybe for some families, is that at our kitchen table, we're really loud. If you haven't figured that out by yet from by Uncle Tom, we're really loud, and that's because there's so many of us, and it's like if you don't get in there with your story, you're sitting there and quiet. So it's like you got to be louder. You got to jump in. You got to interrupt and make yourself known. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's pretty much the way it is. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question, and I know it's a personal question, and it's
Okay.
something that I know the answer to. So you keep,
Okay.
how do you pop your popcorn, in the microwave or stovetop?
Well, I have to be honest, I don't really eat popcorn very much. I do love that Chicago popcorn. What are the Clerks? Is that what it is? Where it's like half
Oh,
cheddar, half caramel.
yes,
I will get
that's
that all day long.
yes,
But
but that's something
I mean,
you buy. You can't cook that at
I know,
home.
I know. If I were to cook it, it'd have to be on in a big old pan on the stovetop.
There you go, girl.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Now, TK, you know that Teresa and I have met, and
Yeah.
we had lunch together years ago here in Austin at
Yeah.
the Oasis Brewery out on Lake Travis. And it
So
is a
amazing.
terrific, terrific place. And it
Yeah.
has a great view out over the lake. And it was just a wonderful time. So this is Old Home Week for me
Yeah.
with Teresa and her news stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. So, Teresa, first of all, where'd you go to high school?
That's a loaded question. I went to three high schools in 4 years. My dad worked for General Electric, so we got transferred every 2 years. So I went to high school in Michigan, two high schools in Michigan, and then a high school graduated in Connecticut.
What was the mascot's name?
Good Lord, I have no idea.
Well,
No
you make it
idea.
up because we don't either.
Uh, oh, I was gonna say the first one that came out of my mind was Brutus, but that's Ohio State. Um, I don't know.
All right. No more
Wilbur the
trick questions,
Wolverine.
Teresa.
Okay.
I, I
No.
forgot that you had gone to several high schools during your senior, and so
Yes,
that's a
three
tough
high
one there.
schools.
So
Yes. So
well,
I do not go to alumni
no more
stuff.
trick questions here.
Okay. That is one.
So tell me, and Douglas in the Galaxy, what you do.
Oh gosh. So I'm the executive director of an organization I founded called the SOAP Project, and it stands for Save Our Adolescents from Prostitution. So we go around the country looking for missing children that are being trafficked during big sporting events. And we also do healing retreats for survivors, male and female survivors. So we really help pour into their healing journey. And this is survivors that are from 18 years old to 75 years old. So it keeps me pretty busy going around the country, the world actually,
Mhm.
sharing my story and training law enforcement and schools and churches on the signs of human trafficking.
It's very impressive, Teresa.
Thank you.
And I'll be saying this. I watched you grow this from a grassroots
You
function.
have. You
And
absolutely have. Yeah.
and the first event you did was the Super Bowl that was
Yep.
held here in Dallas.
Yeah.
And that was the year that we had a major ice storm come in
Yeah.
and shut the city down.
Right.
Douglas, it was a nightmare.
It
But
was.
she has such a following and support group of all these people came in from all over the country. They
Yeah.
drove through ice, sleet, snow,
Did.
and they got out there and they took the mountain to Moses, is basically
You
what I'm going
did.
to tell you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
And
dedicated people for a good cause, TK and Teresa. So dedicated, and that is what we admire about people when they find their thing, they work at it, and especially something like that, a humanitarian cause saving people's lives.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm really blessed to have such a big family, but family that supports me on what I do. And I couldn't do this because it's hard work. I couldn't do this without my family. Uncle Tom, brought food for all of our volunteers when everything was shut down in Dallas. David, my brother, has been with us in Houston for the Super Bowl. This coming Super Bowl we're going to be at is in San Jose, California. It'll be our 15th Super Bowl that we go to. And my brother Patrick and my brother David are going to be there to help out as well. So it's my cousin Emily donates her bitch sticks to our survivors. So it's just a wonderful, this family is really wonderful and it has made it easier for me to do what I do.
Now,
So that makes TK the black sheep of the family because you're doing something worthwhile to the galaxy, and TK's sitting here cracking jokes with Doug the neighbor on Happy
No,
Camp Kennerk podcast.
you gotta liven this up. This is what I do is heavy stuff, so you gotta bring some jokes into it. So,
Now, where did you go to college, Teresa?
I went to 2 years at Eastern Connecticut State because my dad had gotten transferred to Connecticut. And then he got transferred back to Indiana. So I transferred and graduated from Ball State, where
Okay.
I have that in common with my Uncle Tom. And then went to University of Toledo for a year for grad school and ended up getting my master's from University of Dayton.
Okay, so big question here. What did you graduate from college in?
Uh-huh. Social work.
Social work. And
Yep.
then when you said you went to get a master's, what
hmm
was that education in?
Counseling education. So I've always
So
been an educator, a social worker, a helper, I guess you'd say.
okay, so now
Yep.
we can connect the dots at how you got to your organization
Sure.
and running it and helping humanity because your background is in social work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my background in college was fraternity, beer, and girls. And I'm just expanding it now to the Camp Kennerk podcast, where it's drinking beer, watching sports, and looking at
Mhm.
girls. So the path that you are on is a beautiful path. And now you're at the culmination and going to grow within that. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful thing.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
well, Teresa, not to put you on the spot, but your mother, my sister Hannah,
Yep.
uh, to say the least, was a character. But then everyone says all the Canucks are characters, so that's just throw everybody in the
Yeah.
same basket. Um, do you have any stories that she used to tell that you like so much?
I actually found an entire file folder, since she's passed away, of all of the stories that she used to tell. She had typed them up on onion paper, if people out there know what onion paper is, super thin. And she actually one of them there was a letter in it I just found to Uncle Charlie. Actually, he's not my uncle. He's your cousin,
Cousin,
right?
yes.
Cousin. And she was asking him to make a copy, a Xerox copy of it. And she threatened him if he didn't do it, he would never see any of this stuff again. And so I was like, whoa. But she has some amazing stories in here. She actually went to University of Dayton. I don't know if you know this, to the, oh, what's that lady's name? Edna. It was a
El,
Bombach.
El, Elma Brombach.
Yeah, she was a famous writer, right?
Yes.
And she had a class as that mom got into on how to be a storyteller and writing because we're all like we're very verbal, our family, but writing not so much. And so these are all her stories that she wrote of when you guys were growing up. And so last night I got to sit around and read all these stories again. I think her favorite one probably was called Blind Man's Bluff.
And what is that one? That rings a bell, but you need to refresh my memory on this one.
So, with 8 kids growing up in Fort Wayne, and being bored half the time, they had to find ways to entertain themselves. So, her idea was to play blindsman bluff well, she had 6 brothers. You were the youngest, and she would take a diaper, and usually it was with Harry, so your older brother, and she would put the diaper around him, twist him around, and then take him to different rooms, different places to see if he knew where he was. And he would always figure it out. He was very, very good at this game, and it frustrated my mom to death. Like he always would be like, "No, I don't know where I am," and but have this little smirk on his face, and he would always know. So one day she decided she was going to get him. And she said she took him outside in the basement all around for 45 minutes, to try and figure it out so he wouldn't know where he was. And then they ended up in the kitchen in front of the basement door. She opened up the basement door and she said, "Harry, do you know where you are?" And he says, "No, Hannah, I don't know where I am." And he had that smirk on his face. And she says, "Okay, Harry, if you don't know where you are, then take one step forward." And he took a step forward and went down the stairs and landed at the bottom. And she's like, "Oh, darn." So she hightailed it out of there. And needless to say, it was a fiasco after that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that tends to happen.
Yeah.
We always want to see the effect, but the consequences is way secondary. Way
Oh,
secondary.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did it again later, so you didn't
Yeah,
learn much from it.
I gotta say, sometimes my brothers and sisters aren't the sharpest knife in the drawer, but they are
Yeah,
fun.
they are fun. That's the thing. Anything for a
Oh,
laugh and fun.
oh, yeah. Falling down stairs as a young kid with a blindfold on. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Hey, nobody was bleeding. Nobody had broken bones. It's fine. That's how we grew up.
Now, Teresa, you have this file of Hannah's stories.
Yeah.
TK has a file or a diary of his trip to Ireland when he was 18 years old. So
Yeah.
this runs in the Kennerk family of writing. This is beautiful. This is
Yeah. It is really neat. It is beautiful. It's great memories, from my mom's memories, but then, just of my aunts and uncles and growing up, how they grew up. So,
Now, do you remember
Teresa?
all their birthdays? How do you keep all the birthdays straight? Now, I have a calendar over here and I write birthdays on it, and then the birthdays are written in red. And then
uh-huh.
whenever I travel, that's in green. So that's how I remember it. But with your large family, how do you remember all the birthdays?
I only remember the important one, which is Uncle Tom's, because it's a couple days before mine. That's the only
Oh,
one
that's
that I
very
know.
diplomatic,
The
Uncle
only one
Tom.
I know. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah.
That's funny. Now, you've traveled a lot where you went to high school in Toledo, college, Dayton, Connecticut. So, what are your sports teams?
Uh, I have to say Indianapolis Colts. My family, a lot of my family grew up. We lived a lot of our years in Indianapolis, so loved the Colts. But then when Peyton Manning left, I discovered I really wasn't a Colts fan. I was a Peyton Manning fan. So
Yes.
love him. I trying to think. I love the Green Bay Packers. I love that they're fan owned. So we follow the Packers a lot. And, I've lived in Columbus for 27 years. And my daughter told me the other day, "You just have to admit it, Mom, you are an Ohio State fan." My uncle Pete was a Notre Dame fan, and a lot of my family is IU fans. So I had to come to terms that I do like Ohio State. So, but I'm
And
usually
a big game this weekend against Indiana.
huge game. Oh my God.
Both teams are 12 and 0,
I
and
know. I did not know. I'm just going to keep myself quiet and sit and watch, which, yeah, that won't happen, but
it's going to be the game of the season
it
because
really is. I'm
in
super excited.
playground justice, you don't care if it's a 9-3 team playing a,
Right.
it's the undefeateds you want to see. So
I
this is the game
know.
of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could go because it's going to be, Indianapolis is going to be rocking it, this weekend with
Yes.
that game. So,
Yes, and now that's interesting note concerning the Packers being a fan-owned team
yeah.
here in the awesome Austin, Texas. In my neighborhood, I have three neighbors who own shares of
Oh,
Packers. Yes,
oh wow, that's
yeah, I walk down the
awesome.
street and I go, go Packers. Or they're in the green and yellow, but three of them. And I just can't
Yeah.
believe there are three people in the neighborhood that are Packer owners.
That's amazing. That's really
Yes,
cool. Yeah,
it
love
is
that.
very cool. It is very
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Except
Well,
when they
Douglas,
play my Cowboys.
Yeah.
Douglas, do your neighbors like on game day wear cheese head hats? You know, the
Not yet.
what?
They're a little older, but if they win the Super Bowl, I'm sure they'll bother me unrelentless, you know.
They probably bother you anyways because the Cowboys, your favorite team, is
Yes,
not doing so well.
we've run to it. We've won two in a row. Give me a break.
All right, I will.
Well, Tom, who's your favorite team?
The winner.
I like the underdog usually, but
I do too. That's just
yeah,
the way life is. You got to root for the
yeah.
underdog. I really don't have a favorite team in
Really?
any sport. I just love the spirit of competition. You know,
I did too.
two
Yeah.
groups of people saying, "You think you're good? We think you're good. Well, let's find out." You know, it's
Yeah.
just like Douglas saying, it's just a sandlot justice. Just come
Hmm.
on, let's do it. Let's have fun at the end of the game. Shake hands, and you'll talk about
Yes.
it for the next 50 years.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely true. Playground justice, sandlot justice, just two great teams play. We're pals forever because we participated. And that goes back to the great Teddy Roosevelt speech about being in the arena. Who are the winners? Not that there's no winners or losers. It's the fact that you're in the arena
Yeah.
fighting the good fight. You know.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that makes you, Teresa, a winner, and because you are in the arena fighting this human trafficking situation.
Thanks. I reminded Uncle Tom of this many years ago of our family motto is justice will prevail. And I think that now what I do is very much justice oriented and happy to carry on that motto. My grandpa, Uncle Tom's father, was an attorney and it was really important in our family to help the people that had lesser out. So it's one of the big lessons that I got from being in this family.
In our family, it was called mom justice. That,
Yeah.
that backhand across the table when you slipped a word in there or didn't eat your broccoli. Mom justice, rather quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
so Teresa, you got a great year behind you. You've been all over the world. How do you duplicate that for the upcoming year of 26?
Oh gosh, I always say like next week I have nothing going on, and then as soon as that comes out of my mind, my mouth, I've got 10 things going on. Um, I'm super excited about this San Jose Super Bowl. We're hoping to have 200 people come out and volunteer. Um, Probably take some time off and go on a cruise. My daughter Samantha and her husband Will just moved to England, so hoping this spring to go out and see them in their new digs. And I don't know, just leaving things open. Hoping to go to Albuquerque for the Hot Air Balloon Festival and do some work out there. But yeah, I mean, I love traveling. It's probably my favorite thing to do, and so going around the country and hoping to maybe get back to Dubai. So.
Yes. Okay. So your theme song is the great song, Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
Oh, I forgot about that song. Good one. Thank you for reminding me of that. That's
Now,
awesome.
Douglas, that was a powder puff. That was a softball. Come on now. You're better
Okay.
than that.
Well, it was too obvious. It's the thing on top of my mind. Teresa handles serious stuff. I'm thinking of
Yeah,
that song. Do you know the way to San Jose?
Well, then she
yeah,
needs to use that as her theme song
I do.
on her website to get
Absolutely.
everybody pumped up and get, once they hear that song, it's a very catchy song
It is. Yeah.
to listen to, and then just say, "Hey, San Jose, here we come. Do you know the way?"
Yeah, I love that.
Do
I
you know
love
the
See,
that.
she's
way?
biting that.
Yeah.
She's stealing our idea,
I'm
Douglas.
stealing it. I'm stealing that. Yep, exactly.
Right. Or we could change the lyrics a little bit. You are safe in San Jose.
Yes, you
There
will.
you go. You're
Yeah.
Yes.
so clever, Douglas. I tell you what.
Well,
So travels, Teresa, very interesting. England, Albuquerque, San Jose. uh, back to Dubai, traveling the galaxy. Any messages for young people concerning life, what they should, lessons you've learned that you would partake to a high school student or someone who's in social work, that some words of wisdom. What would you say to
Yeah,
them?
I know. I think things are really challenging at this time, but they were challenging when I was in college too. So it's always going to be that way. I always think it's important to find somebody, we call it in your tribe. Find somebody that you could call no matter what, that you could say, hey, something's going on, I need some help. Like start to think about who that one person is that you could talk to. That's really important. A lot of times we don't think about that, but and it doesn't have to be a mom or dad or brother or sister. It could be an aunt and uncle. It could be a neighbor. But just kind of look for that one person that you could always confide in. Um, and when things get down, know that they will get better. They definitely will get better. So
Well, those are beautiful words. When I try and call a few women, they call security. So your words of wisdom go much further than mine.
like that. Um,
TK,
Yes, sir.
beautiful reconnecting with Theresa again. I love to have lunch with her again and hear her stories. Thank you for bringing Theresa to the Camp Kennerk podcast to be a happy camper. Absolutely beautiful.
Thanks.
Go Cowboys.
Aaron Gilbraw.
OH. IO.
Okay.